doing for years, and that's working as a broadcast analyst. Do people not realize she's been doing that for the Phoenix Sun? Somebody asked, "Oh, they're just going to give her this now?" Wait, what? She's qualified. She's actually qualified to do the job. And it also helps when it comes to, WNBA shows to have people that people actually recognize. And people will see Sophie Cunningham and be like, oh, Sophie.
Sophie Cunningham has picked up a couple of notable ventures outside of the court recently, and both are generating serious conversation. Between a new broadcasting role at USA Network and a feature in the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit 2026 edition, Cunningham is operating on multiple fronts heading into the season. Concerns about whether any of this signals a retirement appear to be unfounded. Clarification has made it clear she intends to keep playing.
I know her. She played for the Fever with Caitlin Clark. So, there's also this. Sophie Cunningham in Sports Illustrated Swimsuit. Nice job, Sophie. It's Sophie and Nafisia Collier.
That's it. This is probably one of the most empowering things that I have done ever. You can be beautiful, but you can also be strong.
We show what it is to sacrifice, what it is to work hard.
The USA Network contributor role will have Cunningham appearing in studio coverage at various points throughout the season. The network is set to air 50 regular season WNBA games, plus playoff and finals coverage under the league's new media agreement that was finalized last September. A weekly Wednesday doubleheader setup will serve as the centerpiece of their schedule.
Achieve your dream.
I truly do think, go kick ass out on the court, and then go kick ass out in the real world being a woman who is strong, who is powerful, and who has the mindset that she can do anything.
Hey, it's Nafisia Collier.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sophie Cunningham.
My name is Melissa Jefferson Wooden, and we're here in Fort Myers shooting for Sports Illustrated Swimsuit 2026.
We're cooking!
We have arrived here at our first location for the first shoot. Come with.
Her involvement is expected to be limited in scope, similar in nature to how Caitlin Clark appeared with NBC on a handful of occasions, or how Draymond Green operates alongside his TNT commitments. The arrangement is not designed to interfere with her playing schedule. What some seem to be overlooking is that this is not new territory for Cunningham.
With us.
Oh, that's great.
You're going to be and welcome to my crib.
All right, we're definitely going to the water.
She's the fastest one in the world, but she's also the hottest. This is what SI is all about, right? Empowering the female body. So that's what we're doing.
All right, so there we are. Sophie is now officially going to be in the sports.
She has been doing broadcast analyst work for the Phoenix Suns for years, including on-camera interviews with players at the level of Kevin Durant. The reaction from certain corners of social media suggesting she is unqualified for the role does not hold up against that track record. She has the basketball knowledge, the communication skills, and the on-screen presence that makes for effective sports coverage.
Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. How about that? Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Now let's move on to this broadcasting role, which has got some people up in arms for some reason. USA Network added Sophie Cunningham to their coverage for 2026. Cunningham will be a contributor for studio coverage here and there throughout the season. USA Network will showcase 50 regular season games on top of WNBA.
USA Network, adding her to their lineup is a straightforward decision from a programming standpoint. She is a recognizable face who can speak to the game with genuine depth and credibility. Cunningham herself addressed her passion for the broadcast side in a recent conversation with Sports Illustrated. She described loving the process of breaking down elite players, understanding their decision-making, and communicating that analysis to an audience.
Playoffs and finals as part of the league's new media deal passed last September. The network's big draw will be weekly doubleheaders on Wednesday throughout the season. So there you have it. She's going to be doing that. Cunningham's surprise decision doesn't come as a surprise. The WNBA star spoke with SI last month about her passion for broadcasting. Quote, I just love sports.
She pointed to her ability to read schemes and explain the reasoning behind them as something people have responded to positively. On the Sports Illustrated swimsuit front, Cunningham appeared in behind-the-scenes footage shot in Fort Myers alongside Nita Collier and Melissa Jefferson Wooden. The content she shared carried a clear message about strength and femininity existing together, the idea that competing at the highest level on the court and embracing who you are off it are not opposing forces.
Love talking to people and learning their stories. I love the quote, why Cunningham told SI. When I get to commentate for basketball, I know the game. I have the IQ for it. I see plays. I see why they do different schemes. You get to break down these elite level players and why they do what they do. I find it fascinating. I understand it. For some reason, people like to hear me break it down. So, Scott Agnes put this up. He did.
Teammates and peers responded enthusiastically to the announcement. The online backlash that accompanied both pieces of news was loud in certain spaces, with critics calling her overexposed, questioning her qualifications, and in some cases crossing into outright personal attacks. The pattern of that criticism, the specific language used, and the targets it kept circling back to was not lost on observers.
Add a little clarity to this, okay? For those asking, the TV opportunity for Sophie Cunningham is in addition to playing. All right, because again, a lot of people thought, including myself, I wondered, I was like, is the knee not doing well? You know? And then I also was like, well, she could do this and then play in Project B after the season and make a ton of money, right? But no, she's going to play.
Much of the hostility appeared less connected to anything Cunningham has actually done professionally and more rooted in resentment tied to her identity and the assumptions people project onto her. That context matters when reading the volume and tone of the negativity surrounding what are, at their core, two straightforward career moves from a veteran player who has earned both opportunities. Sophie Cunningham has landed a media role with USA Network, where she will serve as a contributor to the network's studio coverage of the 2026 WNBA season.
A lot of people wondering, I should say, with what the hell is going to happen with Sophie. Well, I'm here to tell you, Sophie just made an unbelievable announcement, big time announcement. She got a new job. Yes, during the season. So this job that she got will be taking place during the 2026 season. This is a big, big story. Just like I told you guys, everybody is going to be talking about this tomorrow or in the next coming hours. I promise you, I can guarantee you.
The announcement came via her Instagram, where she posted a video still wearing an Indiana Fever jersey and wrote that she is joining the USA Network team to cover WNBA games throughout the year. The timing of the announcement is notable. As of now, the Indiana Fever have not extended Cunningham a contract offer, leaving her in unrestricted free agency, meaning she is free to sign with any franchise.
Or in the next coming hours. I promise you, I can guarantee you this. Now, this is how I found out about this story. Yahoo Sports, an hour ago, stated Sophie Cunningham announced that she will join USA Network's coverage of the WNBA this season as a contributor. Sophie Cunningham to be a contributor for USA Network during the WNBA season. One comment that says Sophie Cunningham will be an incredible as a commentator. The Fever better re-sign her. Now, I don't know what
the Fever have already moved to secure Lexi Hall for the 2026 season and completed a core designation for Kelsey Mitchell, but Cunningham's situation remains unresolved. By securing the media position, she guarantees herself an income stream regardless of where her playing career lands, a strategic move heading into what could be a defining offseason. The salary cap climbing to $7 million this season changes the financial landscape for several players.
Now, I don't know what this means about the Fever re-signing her, but this is telling me Sophie Cunningham is about to get another bag to secure her finances, possibly for the 2026 season. I don't know what type of offer the Fever is going to give her. We don't know what type of offer any other team is going to give her, but this is a telltale sign that she's protecting the bag and she's going to get the bag by any means necessary. Let's finish reading some of these comments.
Kelsey Mitchell is expected to command around $1.4 million, which represents 20% of the new cap figure. Aaliyah Boston, entering her fourth year, is projected somewhere between $900,000 and $1.2 million.
by any means necessary. Let's finish reading some of these comments before we get into this article, because it is an article that go hand in hand with this. Somebody said funny white. I don't want to even get into that. Y'all know how I feel about that. Why? She's unqualified and tries to beat up people. Use a hater. Tell you she isn't a good player. Whatever. That's hater. AKA she got back to the practice and realized she passed her prime. I don't know. Her knee must still be jacked up. I don't know. And that is a good question, because we know last year Sophie Cunningham did get hurt.
Caitlin Clark, a two-time All-WNBA second-team selection, is set to earn around $500,000 under her current deal. Lexi Hall, drafted by the Fever and a consistent contributor, is expected to land anywhere from $300,000 to $600,000 on her new contract.
Sophie Cunningham did get hurt, and her knee, she got hurt pretty bad. But let's get to this article before we get to some of these silly ass comments. So this right here says Sophie Cunningham lands new job before WNBA free agency. Bro, this is crazy. It goes on to say Sophie Cunningham will technically represent two teams this upcoming WNBA season. Now, she averaged 8 points, 3.5 rebounds per game in the 2025 season. Now,
for Cunningham, the market value sits around $300,000, though the Fever may come in with a lower offer given the stage of her career and the roster financial picture. She averaged 8 points and 3.5 rebounds per game during the 2025 season, solid production as a reserve, though a step down from her earlier years when she held a starting spot and was producing closer to the 10 to 15 point range.
Now, regardless of where she'll end up this season, Cunningham should receive a nice payday since the salary cap increased to $7 million. If you guys did not see the live, we broke it all down. How the salary cap is going to work. Kelsey Mitchell more than likely going to get the $1.4 million. Based off what I researched earlier today after the live, it's year 4 for Aaliyah Boston. She do one between 900,000 to like 1.2 million. Then we got
her knee injury from last season also remains a factor teams will weigh when evaluating an offer. What the USA Network role signals most clearly is that Cunningham is not waiting around.
900,000 to like 1.2 million. Then we got Caitlin Clark. She's getting $500,000 off the rip. She was the first time WNBA all team two seasons in a row. We know that Kelsey Mitchell 1.4 is 20% of the salary cap. Lexi Hall looked like she finna get her bag. Lexi Hall bag is going to be anywhere from 300,000 all the way up to 600,000. She finna get paid. Now, I've been a big advocate for Lexi Hall getting her money. As much as I love Sophie Cunningham, she's from my home state here in Missouri.
Whether the Fever bring her back or another team makes a move, she has already secured her financial footing for the season. Several other players connected to Indiana, including Ari McDonald, Natasha Howard, and Bree Turner, also remain unsigned, meaning the roster picture will continue developing over the next several days as free agency picks up pace.
Advocate for Lexi Hall getting her money. As much as I love Sophie Cunningham, she's from my home state here in Missouri. Lexi deserved her money first. She been here. She was drafted by the Fever. As much as we love to celebrate Sophie Cunningham, I'm not saying Sophie don't deserve a bag. Sophie gonna get about 300. But the thing is the Fever gonna give her the 300? They might be like, we're gonna give you 2 and some change. That is very possible. Because at this point with Sophie Cunningham, she is.
The Instagram video Cunningham posted showed her working through drills and commentary in her Fever jersey, with USA Network responding publicly to the announcement. Whether that jersey remains relevant to her playing situation or simply served as the visual backdrop for her media debut is the central question still hanging over the story.